How's it going, everybody? This is your host, Scorpion LXB Sports, coming at you today on a marvelous Tuesday afternoon. I'm very sorry that I haven't posted anything in the last 2 weeks. So, to explain where I've been, I took a new position at my job, and I've been trying to get a hold of that, and because of that, I haven't been able to watch the Browns that much the past few weeks. So I didn't want to give you guys a lazy video on anything like that when I didn't watch any of the games in any way. I mean, besides the Broncos game, I did watch that game all the way through, but I haven't watched a lot of football as much. So that is why I've been gone. I sincerely apologize. Hopefully I'll be getting right back to things with the Browns and definitely the Cavs and the Guardians coming up as well, because they've made a few moves. So in this time since I've been gone for about 2.5 weeks, I thought it'd be fun to not look at past games, because that wouldn't make any sense. So I'm going to do something I was going to do a few weeks ago, and that is the mid-season player grades. Now we are way past the mid-season mark, of course. So I think right now we should just get right in on this. I'm gonna do the offense and the special teams for this segment, and I'm gonna upload another video talking about the defense. But as of right now, I think this is a fun little concept to do. And if you guys still want me to talk about the Browns versus the Steelers game, please leave that in the comments. I'll be more than happy to do a video on that, because I watched the majority of the game. I didn't watch all of it, but I watched the majority of it because I was at work. All right, let's get right in on this, guys. So, starting off with the quarterbacks. This has been a turbulent time in our franchise, where we thought we had the guy and we didn't have the guy. But we're going to go in order. Starting right now, I'm going to start with Jameis Winston. I got to give Jameis Winston, for how he's played right now, I got to give him at least a B. Yes, I know yesterday's game, he threw the interception, and you had a chance to win it there. You had every opportunity there, and it was just squandered with him. Dude, he's been still very good. You can't, from a backup quarterback standpoint, he's playing really, really good. He is making football fun to watch, when the other guy, who we'll get to later, didn't. He didn't make anything fun at all to watch. And that's just a fact. Winston's at least making him fun with them pregame speeches and stuff like that. Is he Flacco? No, he's a little bit worse than Flacco. Well, last year he's worse than Flacco last year. This year they're about the same. Jameis Winston just knows how to sling the ball. Now, the problem is, the Browns at least had somewhat of a run game last year. The Browns don't have that this year. And I'm going to talk more about the run game shortly. But anyway, Jameis Winston gets a B for me. DTR, I gave a C. He hasn't been good, but he hasn't been bad. People hate on him a little too much. He's a second-year guy. He throws the ball a little too hard. Yes, he's a little bit jumpy in the pocket, but he's not a bad player. If anything, he'll be a career backup for maybe the Browns or maybe even a different team altogether. But he's not a bad player. I put Bailey Zappi on here. I put him as incomplete. We haven't seen him out there. Now, I can't grade someone that I haven't seen on the field. That doesn't make any sense. That's stupid. For a lot of the players, especially on defense with defensive end and defensive tackles, a lot of the players on there I put as an incomplete, for the sole fact that a lot of them haven't played that many snaps. So I'm only going on the players that were on the roster at one point, or on the practice squad, or anyone along those lines. But, those are the three. Those are the three quarterbacks so far. Then we get to the big boy. We get to Watson. He sucks. I gave him, giving him an F is generous. I gave him a G minus. Dude won one game this year, being healthy. One game. And that was against a Jaguars team that's in a worse situation than we are in right now. Because at least the Browns, at least Jameis has made at least watching the Browns fun. Making them be fun to watch. Sorry about my terrible English right now. But Watson stinks. I mean, he has been absolute garbage since he's been here. You thought you thought this year maybe it was going to snap and maybe he was going to do something good. Nope, he didn't. He got hurt again. He blows. Did I cheer when he got hurt? No, I did not. I do not agree with cheering when someone is hurt. I do understand why people did cheer when he's hurt. Still does not give an excuse. But he's been terrible here. He's been the most disappointing player for the Browns. He's been probably the most disappointing player the Browns have ever had. And that's saying a lot, because we've had a lot of them. All right. Quarterbacks are done. So now we're going to move on to the running backs. I'm going to kind of speed run a little bit through the running backs, because I'm only really going to be talking about two of them, and that's Ford and Chubb. All right. Foreman, Strong, I gave D. I gave them both D grades because Strong hasn't been out there that much, and when he's been out there, he's been fine. But I haven't seen much of him. Foreman, I have no idea where he is. Nowhere to be found. Dude's been on a cereal box since Chubb's been back. And Nyheim Hines, I mean, that's not fair to grade him. I gave him an incomplete grade. He hasn't played a snap all year. He's been hurt. I'm not going to give him an effort. I'm not going to do anything like that. Ford, I gave a C. He's been average. I know people are probably going to want to give him a D or an F. I don't agree with that. He's not been a bad player. Yes, he dances a little too much in the backfield. Yes, there's plays where if he just cuts through, he'll get at least 2-3 more yards. He just needs to get better at finding the line. When he finds the line and he could get run through the seam of the lineman, he'll actually be decent. He hasn't been that great this year, and it stinks. And finally, Nick Chubb. I had to give him a C. I know coming back from that injury, people thought that he was going to be the next Adrian Peterson, like I stupidly thought. I sincerely apologize that I thought in any capacity that he was going to return to form like Adrian Peterson this quick. That was stupid. Nick Chubb should be back next year. He should be. Watch that grade flip from a C to at least an A, hopefully. Because here's the thing. He showed some life against the Steelers. He had a few really powerful runs. Some runs that looked like, hey, I'm ready to kick the crap out of some people. So, I like that. It shows something. It shows he got hot out there, all right? He's got that hot. All right. That is it for the running backs. Again, unfortunately, there's not really much to talk about. Wide receivers. So I did also add players that were on the Browns at the beginning of the season. So Cooper is on this list as well. But I won't talk about Cooper now. So far, from what I'm seeing, Jerry Jeudy, I'm giving him an A+. He is having a tremendous year with the Browns right now. And he's been one of the few bright spots on the team since, the whole Watson deal's been an utter shambles. But Jerry Jeudy's been great here. I love the move when we got him. I thought he was just a bad fit in Denver, and he's just killing it. I mean, I'm really, really proud of him. I'm happy for him, and I'm happy that the haters that he had are finally starting to realize that, yes, he didn't behave the greatest in Denver. He whined about not getting the ball a lot. But it was also a bad system as well. Russell Wilson in Denver did not fit. Jerry Jeudy in Denver did not fit. I think he'll be a great player, and he's certainly our number one for the next foreseeable future. I think he has three more years on his contract because we got him on the 5th-year option this year, I believe. So I think either this year is the start of the first year or next year. But I want to say it's next year where that begins. Cedric Tillman, I gave a B, and Elijah Moore, I gave a C+. I'm actually going to bump that up to a B-. Both guys have stepped up in major ways. Tillman, I know he's missed some time, but the jump from Tillman last year to this year is night and day. He's finally starting to finish off his routes. He's actually getting open. He's actually able to catch the ball and whatnot. He is the best third-round receiver that the Browns have drafted. Elijah Moore, I could say the exact same thing about. He's smaller, but he gets open. He's not doing stupid plays anymore. There's no bye-bye jet sweep, and he's been fine. Anyone that wants to complain about Elijah Moore, I understand that he wasn't the guy that we were going to get from the Jets. He's still not bad. He's had a solid year. Now, I also added on here, we have that Michael Woods, who, if anyone does not know who Michael Woods is, Michael Woods was I believe our 6th or 7th round draft pick. He went to Oklahoma. We took him, I think, 2 or 3 years ago, and he tore his Achilles both years. So he has not had the chance to really blossom onto the field. And I gotta say, I'm impressed from what I've seen. I loved him coming out of college. I thought he was going to be a solid pro. It's a shame that both of his Achilles had to explode before he got a chance to do anything. But I'm glad he's on the field. I'm glad he's on the roster, and he's starting to do some things. Man, he could be a nice 4, maybe even a 5. So I give him a C grade. James Prochet and David Bell, I gave D on here. Haven't seen a lot of Prochet. You brought him in to return kicks, and he's okay at returning kicks. But I want to bump that up to at least maybe a C- because he did make some really good plays against the Steelers. He had a few nice grabs. David Bell just hasn't been the guy I thought he was. I really thought he was going to be the guy going into it, and when they drafted him, hasn't been the guy, and it hurts. Kadarius Toney, I know he's only played 1 game. You get an F. How do you hurt the Browns so bad? 1 carry for -4 yards, and you muffle a punt, and you start talking shit? Come on, dude. Come on. Dude, your career is in the dumpster fire right now, and the best thing you could do is shut your freaking mouth and play with the Browns and just see where your career goes from here. Because I'm going to be honest with you, dude. You're on the way out of the NFL. If you can't make it with the Browns, you're done. You will be done. Oh, and also I have Jamari Thrash on here. I gave him an incomplete grade because he's barely been on the field. Why the hell am I going to give that man a grade when he's barely been on the field? That does not make any sense. I know I give Tony an F, but here's the thing. Jamari Thrash has barely been on the field, and Kadarius Toney has also barely been on the field. When Jamari Thrash is on the field, he's not hurting the Browns. He's not having a -4 yard carry or muffling a punt and taunting for 15 yards. Idiot. It's a low risk. It's a low risk, high reward situation for bringing in Tony. Dude, get your head out of your ass. Let's go. Come on. You're actually solid if we can get the ball in your hands, because we saw that with the Giants and we saw that with the Chiefs. You're not a bad player. Just shut your freaking mouth. All right. Anyway, that's it for the wide receivers. Oh, my God. I completely forgot about Amari Cooper. I completely forgot about Amari Cooper. I give him a C. The reason why I'm giving him a C is because he ended up... we ended up trading him, of course. We traded him for a 3rd round pick, which in fairness is a really good deal for him. I mean, he wasn't going to come back after this year. You could tell. there was a shift there because the Browns paid Judy, didn't pay him. So it was the right move to get rid of him. As much as it pains me to say it, it was. But he hasn't done much for the Bills. He really hasn't. I mean, and Josh Allen's the MVP this year. I mean, anyone who wants to say otherwise, please try and argue that, because Josh Allen has been killing it all year. He beat the frickin' Chiefs, all right? The Black Magic team themselves. Anyway, my apologies that I almost forgot about Amari Cooper, because I had him number 1 on my list, but I wanted to skip over. So that's on me. All right, tight ends. We're talking about tight ends. Not really much to talk about. You got David Njoku. I gave him a B+. He's not having the best year like last year, but he's also doing better with Jameis Winston back there. So he's automatically going to get boosted a few letter grades. Because if Watson was here, I mean, he'd probably be at like a C- or a D. And that's nothing against Njoku. I mean, he needs to learn that when it's a contested catch, make the catch, and he's made the catches on every single contested throw. Jameis, Watson, Phillip Walker, any of those guys, Flacco, any of them. When this dude is wide open, I have never seen a player drop more passes than David Njoku. When it comes to him being open, and I'm not saying he's kind of open. No, wide ass open. This dude drops everything. I don't understand it. I do love David Njoku, though. This is not a hate thing towards him. Just please, David, clean that up, please. Because, dude, if you clean that up, that's like 300 yards right there. Because you're an angry runner. You like to make people pay. And I like your game. I really do. And then all the other tight ends, I have Akins. I gave him a C+. He's actually been solid this year, better than last year. Last year he did nothing. Jeff Swaim, I gave a B because we picked him off waivers. Just out of nowhere, you picked him off waivers, and he was making some pretty decent grabs and had some nice blocks. I gave him a B. Same with Whiteheart. I gave him a C+, B-. He's done the same thing. We have another guy, that Latu, practice squad body, hasn't played, incomplete grade. But Swaim and Whiteheart, I'm combining together just to say, hey, they're not bad options off the waiver claim because no one picked them up. So I'm going to say that they're not bad overall. Now on to the big one, the linemen. So I have it divided up in tackle, guard, center. We'll start with the one I'm going to say the least amount about, and that's center, because every single center we have is either hurt or on the practice squad. So Nick Harris, I gave an incomplete grade. If I had to give him a grade, I'd give him probably a C. He was mediocre, but he wasn't bad. And then we have that Tom. He's on the practice squad. Hasn't played, incomplete. And Luke Whippler didn't even play a single freaking snap. He played in preseason, but he didn't play a snap in a regular game before he got injured and done for the year. So incomplete grade. And Ethan Posick, C-. I've not been impressed with him this year. He's gotten blown up on multiple accounts. He looks bad this year. I'm not gonna lie. He has not looked that good. He needs to be better. He really does. But yeah, I don't know. I don't know with him. This offensive line, you've heard me ramble on about for a while. All right, we're gonna move on to guard. So we're gonna start off with Bitonio and Teller. I give Bitonio a B-. He has not been the same Iron Man as we've seen in the past. He's been up and down. He's held his own against some good players, but there's been some plays where he just gets owned. And same with Teller. Teller might be the best run-blocking guard you'll ever see in the NFL. But when it comes to pass blocking, this dude is not good. He can't hold a block for that long. He needs to reach the second level quick. He reaches it too quick, and by the time he reaches the second level too quick, the defensive tackle is already thinking about level 3, 4, and 5. And by the time 3, 4, and 5 are there, either they're in the backfield trying to get at Jameis Watson, whoever the hell is back there, or tackling the running back for a huge loss, or it's a holding call. It's been ridiculous with Teller this year. He's been a good player, but he's also been a bad player. So that's why I gave him a C+. Michael Dunn I have on here. I know he got hurt early, but he was even hit or miss before he stopped onto the field. So I gave him an incomplete grade, but I'm going to give him a D overall. He's not bad. He's just he hasn't been that good either. Fetty I gave a D+, especially after yesterday's game. Did not do the Browns any favors. I thought just got cooked all day against Highsmith and Watt. And I know that's a lot of expectation for a waiver wire guy, but dude, you have one solid game against those guys, your grade goes from a D to a freaking C or a B. I'd give him a B if he had a good game against Highsmith or Watt, but he struggled, and I feel bad. I feel bad doing that. They had him listed as a guard. I know he played tackle, but they had him listed as a guard. Zach Zinner, I give him a C+. He's a rookie, hasn't been on the field that long, but he's not a bad player. I think he'll be a solid pro in years to come when Bitonio or Teller has to inevitably either leave the team or retire, especially Bitonio. He's up there. And that Javion Cohen, haven't seen him very much, but the few times I saw him, I liked what I saw. I know he's back on the practice squad for some reason. I don't think he's bad. I would honestly try him at left tackle if you could, because we're thin and we're going to get the left tackle in a minute. But Cohen, I gave a C. He's not bad. Fetty, I only gave a D+ because he got cooked in yesterday's game. Other than that, he hasn't been bad. All right, now with our final position, and that is tackles. Oh boy, my face might get red for this one. So we're gonna start down and work our way up. So we have Thompson, Geron Christian, and that Mbadaka, I don't know how you pronounce it. All of them I gave either incomplete grades or because I know Geron Christian didn't play and Hudson. Hudson I also gave an incomplete grade. Even when Hudson was on the field, he didn't play that great, and neither did Geron Christian. But Mbadaka and Thompson haven't even played on the field, and they're both practice squad guys or hurt. But Hudson and Christian are not good, but they're not the worst either. Hakeem Adeniji, C-. He hasn't impressed. Left tackle's been a struggle all year for the Browns, and that's why the offensive line is going to get... we're going to get some offensive linemen in the draft, 100%. We're probably going to be the first team to take one. And then after that, you have DeJuan Jones. DeJuan struggled a lot this year, a lot more than I was expecting. I think it's the scheme with Andy Dickerson back there. But I gave him a C+. He got hurt early, and he needs to learn that his weight will be a continuing issue, and I know he's probably heard that several times. I know he's probably tired of hearing about it. DeJuan, if you ever watch this, know that I love you as a player. I do. You're a great player. You have great size. You have great athleticism. You have to control your weight. You'll get there. You're not a bad player. I really like you at left tackle, considering that our other options aren't that great. We're going to get to him in a minute. You know exactly who I'm talking about. I like you at left tackle a lot. You're a good, solid pro. And I think that you're gonna be a nice gem that Andrew Berry has drafted. We're going to go to Jack Conklin next. I'm going to go with a B grade. He's not been bad. Yesterday was kind of a bad example. If he didn't play yesterday, I would have given him an A. I would have gave him an A. I mean, I know he's missed time, but when Conklin's been on the field, he's been really, really good. You know, yesterday against Watt and Highsmith, he got cooked, but it's not the worst deal in the world. I mean, the Brown season's lost anyway, but Conklin has played very well, surprisingly. After me ripping on him for the first four or 5 weeks, he came in, started playing great, and I'm glad that he's starting to do good. Now for the favorite, Jedrick Wills. You know, I would have lumped you in with the incompletes because that's how often you've been on the field. Yeah, you get an F, dude. F. Fail. You're trash. You're done. You're not here next year. You're terrible. You might be the laziest tackle I've ever seen. And you are terrible. You know, and I hate saying that because I love when the Browns drafted you. You weren't a bad player coming out of college. I don't know what happened with you. You know, I know you didn't want to play hurt the one game. I think it was against the Ravens. You didn't play because you didn't want to aggravate another injury. People kind of reacted to that. Fine, cool, whatever. Dude, you're not even playing. Like, dude, come on. You're not even playing now. You're a healthy scratch. We know you're a healthy scratch. You can't be doing this. You know, you'll get paid by someone else, but you're going to be a backup, dude. You're going to be sitting down and doing nothing. I mean, if that's what you want to do, I'm cool with that. You'll make decent money doing that, but you know, you were drafted by this team to be a starting a starting left tackle, and you haven't done any of that. You've been terrible all year. So when you've been on the field, you've been terrible. So you get the second lowest grade on the team next to Deshaun Watson. Good job, Jedrick. All right. Video's going on a little long right now, so I'm going to make a part 2 discussing the special teams and the defense. I'll see you guys in part 2.